Good morning, students. Today I will teach you English prose for all the sections of class 12. This is lesson 4, The Homecoming by Aryan Tagore. So I will teach you from the first paragraph, Phatik Chakravarti, up to approximate 4 or 5 paragraphs up to here that he meant it. Dear students, this is the story of a Bengali family, and here you will find the Bengali family lives in Kolkata. In the beginning, as I would like to tell you the brief of the story, a Bengali family who lives in Kolkata, where a woman who had 2 sons. She was widowed. How she took care of her sons, you will find in the story. Sometimes it creates a lot of difficulty for the same family who has no head of the family. Meanwhile, we will see the brother of that lady took her one son to his own home. But what happened overall in the story, you will find out through the lesson. You will see here the homecoming. So here, this is the first paragraph. As you see, Phatik Chakravarti was a ringleader among the boys of the village. As I told you earlier, here this is a Bengali family, and one of the member, means the boy named Phatik Chakravarti, he was a very naughty boy. As you know, ringleader means a person or a boy who works as a mukhiya in Hindi, you can say. So the Phatik Chakravarti was the ringleader, means the master of among the boys of the village. A new mischief got into his head. As I told you, he was a mischievous boy. So there was a mischief in his mind. There was a heavy log lying on the mud flat of the river waiting to be saved into a mast for a boat. Once he found a mast which was used for a boat, that was a very heavy log just by the side of the river. So he decided that they should all work together to shift log by main force from its place and roll it away. So that is a kind of mischievous activity what raised in his mind, in the mind of Phatik Chakravarti. He wanted to push the log, heavy log, into the middle of the river, as when certainly the master of the log would come, he would cry loudly. So the owner of the log would be angry and surprised. So when the owner of the log would come, then certainly he would cry and be surprised. They would all enjoy the fun. So Phatik Chakravarti and his all friends certainly would enjoy the fun when the master of the log cried. Everyone seconded the proposal and it was carried unanimously. Then all the boys just collected there and they were agreed to do the same thing. But just as the fun was about to begin, Makhan, Phatik's young brother, ventured up and sat down on the log in front of them, all without a word. But at the same time, the younger brother of Phatik Chakravarti, named Makhan Chakravarti, came there and he sat on the log. He was not a mischievous boy, but he always did just against his brother. So he sat down on the log in front of them, all without word. He did not speak even a single word. When he was sitting on the log, certainly he did not speak even a single word. He wanted not to do the boys such a type of mischievous activities. He did not want to take the log into the middle of the river. The boys were puzzled for a moment. So all the boys were disturbed at the same time. He was pushed rather timidly by one of the boys and told to get up, but remained quite unconcerned. So the boy, younger brother of Phatik, knew it very well that somebody will push him, but he did not care it. He was quite unconcerned. He appeared like a young philosopher meditating on the futility of games. Phatik was furious. Makhan, he cried, if you don't get down this minute, I will thrash you. So the younger brother of Phatik, means Makhan, was sitting on the log just like a philosopher who is very much concentrated towards the meditation. And certainly another minute, Phatik called Makhan, don't sit there. If you will sit there, then I will thrash you into the river. I will push you down the river. Makhan only moved to a more comfortable position. There was no effect on Makhan, as his elder brother warned him to go down on the log, from the log, but he didn't do it. Makhan was moved to a more comfortable position, means he was still sitting on the log. Now, if Phatik was to keep his regal dignity before the public, it was clear he ought to carry out his trade, but his courage failed him at the crisis. His fertile brain, however, rapidly seized upon a new manicure which would discomfit his brother and afford his followers an added amusement. Now, if Phatik was to keep his regal dignity before the public, it was clear he ought to carry out his trade. That is another matter. Now Phatik warned him not to sit on the log. It was just like humiliating him. He was humiliated, the younger brother. But his courage failed him at the crisis. When he did not come down from the log, just Phatik's all the courage failed meantime. So his fertile brain, however, rapidly seized upon a new manicure which would discomfit his brother and afford his followers an added amusement. Now, whatever he wanted to take amusement from the same episode, but now he was helpless. Phatik was helpless. He gave the word of command to row the log and Makhan over together. Now let us see what happened thereafter. Just meantime, Phatik ordered his all friends to push pushed the log, rolled down into the river along with Makhan. Makhan heard the order and made it a point of honor to stick on it. Now Makhan still sat there, but he overlooked the fact, like those who attempt earthly fame in other matters, that there was a barrier. Overall, he didn't want to come down on the log. The boys began to heave at the log with all their might, calling out, 1, 2, 3, go! At the word go, the log went, and with it went Makhan's philosophy, glory and guitar. Just when Phatik ordered to all his friends to push the log into the river from the side, just his younger brother was sitting on the log, along with he also went, rolled down from the log. When they called 1, 2, 3 and go. Ultimately, when they pushed the log, certainly Makhan also fell down into the mud. All the other boys shouted themselves all with delight, but Phatik was a little frightened. When Makhan rolled down into the mud, certainly other boys laughed heartily. But his elder brother, Phatik, was little frightened. He was afraid at the same time. He knew what was coming, and sure enough, Phatik knew it very well what would be happen just next minute. And sure enough, Makhan woke from Mother Earth blind as a fate and screaming like the furious. So Makhan rose just from the same place and loudly, screamed loudly like the fury. He rushed at Phatik and scratched his face and beat him and kicked him. That is, obviously, everybody knew it very well that what would be happen in the next minute. Certainly Makhan reached just by the side of his elder brother Phatik, and he scratched his face ultimately and beat him, kicked him again and again, kicked his younger brother, and then went crying home. And then he was crying loudly and went to his home. The first act of the drama was over. Now this was over at the same time. So बच्चों देखिए, आप लोग हिंदी और इंग्लिश मीडियम दोनों ही बच्चे हैं, थोड़ा आप समझ सकते हैं इसमें। हम चाहते हैं कि थोड़ा बहुत आप लोगों को हिंदी में इसकी ब्रीफिंग भी कर दें। ये कहानी रविन्द्रनाथ टैगोर के द्वारा लिखी हुई कहानी है, और उस कहानी में रविन्द्रनाथ टैगोर ने एक बच्चे की होम कमिंग के बारे में बताया है। उन्होंने ये बताया है कि किस तरह से एक ऐसा बच्चा जो कि अपने घर से मामा के घर जाता है और वहाँ से फिर किस तरह से निराश होकर के अपने घर वापस आने का प्रयत्न करता है। यह एक बंगाली परिवार की कहानी है। इस कहानी के अंतर्गत एक विशंबर प्रसाद जो कैरेक्टर हैं, वे उनकी बहन जो विधवा है, 2 बच्चे हैं, और उन्हीं दोनों बच्चों की कहानी है। इसमें उन दोनों बच्चों में बड़े बच्चे का नाम फटिक चक्रवर्ती और छोटे बच्चे का नाम माखन चक्रवर्ती है। फटिक चक्रवर्ती बहुत ही शरारती और बहुत ही दुष्ट प्रवृत्ति का था। वह अपने गांव के जो अन्य लड़के थे, उन लड़कों में वह मुखिया के रूप में कार्य करता था, उन लड़कों के रिंग लीडर का कार्य करता था। किसी भी शरारत को अंजाम देने के लिए वह सबसे पहले योजना बनाता था और अन्य बच्चों के साथ मिल करके उस कार्य को करता था। एक दिन उसके दिमाग में एक नई शरारत सूझी। वह नदी के किनारे एक बड़ा सा लट्ठा रखा हुआ था, जो मस्तूल के सहारे जो नाव को चलाने के प्रयोग में आता है। उसे देख करके उस फटिक चक्रवर्ती ने, उसके दिमाग में यह आइडिया आया, उसने निर्णय लिया कि इस लट्ठे को धकेल कर हम क्यों न नदी में बीच धारा में पहुंचा दें, ताकि इसका जो ओनर है, मालिक है, जब आए यहाँ तो देख करके खींच जाए और बड़े गुस्से और आश्चर्य में देखे कि आखिर ये कैसे बीच में चला गया। ऐसा करके उनको और उन बच्चों को बेहद आनंद की प्राप्ति होती। और इस तरह से अगले ही क्षण सारे लोगों ने मिल करके उस लट्ठे को अंदर धकेलने का प्लान किया, योजना बनाई। अगले ही क्षण फटिक का छोटा भाई माखन वहाँ उपस्थित हो गया। माखन फटिक के इस योजना को नाकाम करना चाहता था, इसीलिए वह जाकर के उस लट्ठे पर बैठ गया। और जैसे ही वह वहाँ पर बैठा तो दूसरे जो अन्य बच्चे थे वो थोड़ा परेशान हो गए कि अब आखिर क्या किया जाए। लेकिन जो फटिक चक्रवर्ती था, उसका बड़ा भाई, उसने उसे वार्न किया कि तुम इस लट्ठे से नीचे उतर जाओ, अन्यथा तुम्हें इस लट्ठे के साथ बीच में धकेल दिया जाएगा। किंतु माखन चक्रवर्ती पर जरा सा भी कोई प्रभाव न पड़ा और वह वैसे ही बिल्कुल निश्चिंत होकर उसी लट्ठे पर बैठा रहा। और यह देख वार्निंग देने के बाद भी यदि वह नहीं उतरा तो फिर फटिक चक्रवर्ती के अंदर का स्वाभिमान जाग उठा और उसने सारे बच्चों को एक साथ कहा कि सभी लोग मिल करके इसको लट्ठे सहित धकेल दिया जाए। और फिर सब लोगों ने ऐसा ही किया और जब वह नीचे उस कीचड़ में गिर गया तो वहाँ से जब उठा तो बच्चे तो खूब आनंद लिए, किंतु उसके बड़े भाई फटिक चक्रवर्ती को इस बात का एहसास था कि अब आगे अगले क्षण क्या होने वाला है, इसका क्या दुष्परिणाम होगा। और फिर हुआ भी वही, उसका छोटा भाई माखन तुरंत उसके पास पहुंचा, उसके चेहरे को नोचने लगा, उसको थप्पड़ मारा और चिल्लाते हुए अपनी माँ को पुकारते हुए वह घर की तरफ चल पड़ा। So this is the first here beginning of the story. Now you can see the next paragraph here. Fatik wiped his face and sat down on the edge of a sunken barge on the river bank. When Makhan Chakravarti scratched his face, screamed and slapped him, certainly Fatik wiped his face and sat on the edge of a sunken barge on the river bank inside of the bank. He sat down and began to chew a piece of grass. Now there was a grass and he started chewing the grass. A boat came up to the landing and a middle-aged man with a grey hair and dark mustache stepped on shore. So there came a boat and a man, middle-aged man, came down from the boat and stepped from the same place where Fatik was sitting. He saw the boy sitting there doing nothing and asked him where the Chakravartis live. So that person who came from the boat, who stepped down from the boat, asked him, do you know about the Chakravartis family? Where did they live? Fatik went on chewing this grass and said, over there. Now he didn't reply the same way. He told him he didn't know. But it was quite impossible to tell where he pointed. So when he said over there, so the person could not understand who came the same place. He couldn't understand what he wanted to say. The stranger asked him again. He swung his leg to and fro and on the side of the barge and said, go and find out. Ultimately, in a very sharp, loud, in a very angry mood, Fatik Chakravarti called him, go and search the Chakravartis, I don't know, and continued to chewing the grass as before. So he started once again chewing the grass. But now a servant came down from the house and told Fatik his mother wanted him. Fatik refused to move, but the servant was the master on this occasion. He took Fatik up roughly and carried him, kicking and struggling in an important race. Ultimately, the same time, when he was trying to ask Fatick the same question. Ultimately, there a servant came and asked Fatick to go his home because his mother called him. So Fatick refused to go. He replied, I will not go. But the servant was the master on the occasion. Now ultimately the servant turned into a very master face. He asked him, ordered him, let us go. He took Fatick up roughly and carried him. Ultimately he took Fatick and away from the same place, kicking and struggling and importing him. When Fatick came into the house, his mother saw him. She called out angrily, so you have been hitting Makhan again. When he reached there, when Fatick reached his home, certainly his mother asked him, why did you beat your younger brother? What the reason behind it? Tell me. Fatick answered indignantly, no, I haven't. He told you that. So Fatick replied, no mother, I didn't kill him. I didn't beat him. But he had done it just from his side. It had done from his side. No, I haven't. Who told you? His mother shouted, don't tell lies. Once again, Fatick's mother asked him, why are you telling lie? You are telling lie. Fatick said suddenly, I tell you, I haven't. Fatick suddenly said, no, I haven't hit him. You ask Makhan. You may ask Makhan. I didn't hit him. But Makhan thought it best to stick his previous statement. He said, yes, mother, Fatick did hit me. So it was just the mischievous thinking of the younger brother. Makhan, he again replied, yes, mother, he hit me. Fatick's patience was already exhausted. Now there was no patience in Fatick's side. He could not hear this injustice. So although he didn't hit his younger brother, but it was just he was blamed. So it was just out of his mind. He rushed at Makhan and hammered him with blows. Ultimately, he reached his younger brother and slapped him fast. Take that, he cried, and that for telling lies. So this is for telling a lie. I hit you again, I hit you here just for telling you lie. His mother took Makhan's side in a moment and pulled Fatick away, beating him with her hands. Now, the same time, his mother just hit Fatick. When Fatick pushed her side, she shouted, "What? You little villain! Would you hit your own mother?" Now, Fatick was trying to escape from his mother and he pushed his mother. So his mother said, "Oh, you are trying to hit me also." It was just at this critical juncture that the grey-haired stranger arrived. He asked what the matter was. Fatick looked sheepish and ashamed. So meantime, at the same time, the middle-aged man reached his house and he saw all the episodes and he just asked what the matter here. Now Fatick felt ashamed at the same time. तो बच्चों यहाँ पर देखिए फिर से जो हमने आपको बताया कि किस तरह से उन लोगों ने उसे पानी में ढकेल दिया और फिर देखिए क्या हुआ। वह यानी उसका छोटा भाई माखन तुरंत वहाँ पर आया और उसके चेहरे को नोच लिया और फिर वहाँ से वह निकल गया। फिर फटिक जो उसका बड़ा भाई था उसने अपने चेहरे को पोंछा और वहीं नदी के किनारे ही बैठ करके घास के तिनके को चबाने लगा। और उसी समय एक अधेड़ आयु का व्यक्ति वहाँ नाव से पहुँचा और वहाँ से नीचे उतरा और वह जा कर के उसके पास उससे पूछने लगा कि यहाँ पर कहीं कोई चक्रवर्ती परिवार रहता है। तो फटिक उसकी बातों पर ध्यान नहीं दिया और उसने कहा देखो कहीं होगा, कहीं वो फैमिली है। बट इट वॉज, लेकिन यह बड़ी दिक्कत की बात थी। कैसे समझ पाता वह अधेड़ आयु का व्यक्ति, कैसे समझ पाता? जब उसने दोबारा पुनः पूछा तो उसने बड़े झटके से वहाँ से उसने कहा कि यहाँ से चले जाओ, और ऐसा कह करके उसने फिर से वही घास के तिनके को वह चबाने लगा। फिर वहाँ पर उसी समय उसके घर का एक नौकर उसके पास आया और उसने उससे फटीक से कहा कि तुम्हारी माँ ने तुमको बुलाया है। और जब वो उसने इनकार कर दिया कि मैं नहीं जाऊँगा, तो फिर ऐसी स्थिति में वह उसने जब इनकार किया तो वह नौकर मास्टर के रूप में उसे पकड़ करके घसीट कर ले जाने लगा और उसे उसके माँ के पास तक पहुँचाया। जब फटीक वहाँ पर घर पर पहुँचा तो उसने बड़े ही क्रोध में, उसकी माँ ने बड़े ही क्रोध में उसकी तरफ देखते हुए कहा कि तुमने माखन को क्यों मारा? फटीक ने कहा कि नहीं, मैंने माखन को नहीं मारा है। तो उसकी माँ ने कहा कि झूठ मत बोलो। फटीक ने कहा कि नहीं, मैं सत्य कह रहा हूँ, ऐसा कुछ नहीं था, माखन ने ही बल्कि मुझे मारा। और ऐसा कहते हुए वह जो उसने दिखाया, लेकिन अब वह उसने कहा कि माखन से ही पूछ लो कि किसने किसको मारा। तो फटीक की इस बात को सुन करके माखन को लगा कि यह बड़ा अच्छा अवसर है। तो उसने कहा नहीं माँ, इसने मुझे मारा है। तो यह सुन करके उसकी माँ ने उसको जोर से एक थप्पड़ मारना चाहा, तो उसने अपनी माँ को भी धकेल कर नीचे धकेल दिया। और उसी क्षण उसका वह जो अधेड़ आयु का व्यक्ति था वह भी वहाँ पर पहुँचा और उसने इन सारी घटनाओं को देख करके कहा कि अरे यह क्या हो रहा है। सो डियर स्टूडेंट्स, सी यू, I will teach you another part just next day, and I hope all of you will explain the same paragraph with reference to the context. Okay, thank you.